This man stole $25 million from casinos, not once or twice, but over and over again for more than 25 years. Security knew who he was. Surveillance followed him. Pit bosses watched him walk in and out. And still, somehow, he was never arrested, never prosecuted, never officially caught. His name was Richard Marcus, and the most unsettling part of his story isn't the amount of money he stole. It's how simple it was. His most profitable scam was so basic that even when casinos knew he was cheating, they couldn't explain how he was doing it. Las Vegas in 1975 was a very different place. The mob still had influence over casinos, surveillance cameras were grainy and unreliable, and security rooms were filled with men in suits watching dozens of screens at once. Casinos were built around speed, fast hands, fast bets, fast decisions. Anything that slowed the game down was a problem, and Richard Marcus wasn't even a gambler back then. He was a dealer working the graveyard shift at the Four Queens downtown. Night after night, he stood behind the table watching money move, and that's when he noticed something that bothered him. Every other dealer in the casino was stealing. Not in dramatic ways, not with elaborate schemes. Just $5 here, $10 there, a red chip slipping quietly into a pocket. It wasn't rare, it wasn't risky, it was normal. Marcus didn't steal a single chip, and in a room full of people trying to be invisible, that made him stand out. Joe Klassen had spent his life in casinos, but he wasn't security or management. He was something else entirely, a professional casino cheat. Klassen understood something most people never consider. Casinos don't lose money because people are reckless. They lose money because systems rely on assumptions. And the most important assumption of all is that people who look legitimate probably are. Klassen noticed Marcus because Marcus looked clean, too clean. After watching him for weeks, Klassen waited for Marcus to finish a shift and approached him across the street at the Horseshoe. He asked him a question Marcus wasn't expecting. "Why are you the only dealer in this casino who doesn't steal?" Marcus didn't have an answer. Then Klassen said the sentence that changed everything. "I'm a professional casino cheat, and I'm looking to recruit someone." 2 weeks later, Marcus quit his job and walked away from a steady paycheck into a world where a single bet could win $20,000 or land him in a Nevada state prison. At first, Marcus thought casino cheating was about fast hands and sleight of hand, about distraction and misdirection. Klassen told him that was the wrong way to think about it. The best cheating doesn't hide, it blends in. Casinos are built to catch abnormal behavior, not behavior that fits the pattern. Klassen called it social engineering. The first move Marcus learned was called claiming. He would place a small bet, $15, 3 red $5 chips. If he won, the dealer would pay him, and that's when Marcus would act confused, then angry. He'd claim the dealer paid him wrong and reveal large denomination chips hidden under his arm. Suddenly, the situation flipped. Now the dealer wasn't dealing with a low-stakes gambler, but a high roller who had been shorted. Dealers didn't call surveillance in those moments. They panicked, corrected the mistake, and moved on as fast as possible. Marcus practiced this move for months. Not the mechanics, but the attitude, the confidence, the entitlement, the way legitimate big players behave. But this wasn't the move that made him rich. That one came later, and it was even simpler. Here's the part most people misunderstand. Richard Marcus didn't win because casinos were stupid. He won because casinos were efficient. They needed games to move fast. They needed dealers to trust what they saw. They needed surveillance focused on obvious threats. And once you understand that, everything that follows stops being shocking and starts feeling inevitable. The move that made Marcus millions was called the Savannah. In most casinos, a $5,000 chip was brown. Marcus would place one on a roulette column bet, then stack a $5 chip on top, just slightly off-center. From the dealer's angle, it looked like a harmless $10 bet. The wheel would spin, and if Marcus won, he would celebrate. The dealer would say he won $20. Marcus would smile and ask them to look closer. The dealer would step out from behind the table and see the brown chip underneath. Suddenly, that $10 bet became a $5,000 bet, and Marcus walked away with a $10,000 payout. Surveillance reviewed the tape, and everything looked legitimate. The bet was placed before the spin. Nothing was technically wrong, and when Marcus lost, that's where the system failed even harder. He never worked alone. He had a partner positioned at the top of the roulette wheel, someone who could see where the ball would land a fraction of a second before the dealer called it. A nod, a shake, a subtle signal was enough. Marcus would casually reach out and pick up his chips. Dealers only caught this about 20% of the time. They were busy managing the table, paying winners, keeping the game moving, and when they did catch him, Marcus had an exit. The moment a dealer told him to put the chips back, Marcus changed. Suddenly he was drunk, slurring his words, waving his drink, acting confused. The pit boss would come over, the dealer would explain, and Marcus would apologize and put the chips back. Not $5,000, just 10. Now it wasn't a high-stakes incident. It was a drunk tourist arguing over pocket change. No surveillance review, no investigation. The real money was already gone. This worked for one reason. Casinos are designed to assume legitimacy. They reward speed, confidence, and normal behavior, and they punish hesitation and disruption. Security looks for cheating that breaks rules. Marcus followed them. 1 bet per casino, 1 bet per shift. Win or lose, they left. No greed, no patterns. For decades, they hit every major casino in Las Vegas. Caesar's Palace alone lost $4 million, and still nobody could prove how. By the 1990s, Marcus was famous in casino security circles. Investigators chased him from property to property, dragged him into back rooms, questioned him for hours. They took roulette wheels apart, searched for magnets, looked for hidden technology. They were searching for something complicated because the truth was too simple to believe. Marcus wasn't manipulating the wheel. He wasn't controlling outcomes. He was just placing bets and picking them up. On New Year's Eve in 1999, Marcus placed his final bet at the Golden Nugget. This time, the casino president came down personally. They didn't accuse him, didn't arrest him. They simply refused to pay. They told him to take it up with the Nevada Gaming Control Board. That was it. His career didn't end because he was caught. It ended because the system quietly decided to stop playing. Marcus retired undefeated. Today, he travels the world training casino security, teaching them how to spot the very scams he once perfected. And his warning is always the same. Technology changes, rules change, human psychology doesn't. Somewhere right now, someone is running a scam so clean you'd never notice it, even if you knew it was happening. Stories like this don't disappear because they stop working. They disappear because most systems are never built to question what looks normal. That's how overnight millionaires are made, not by effort, but by timing a broken system.